What's good, beautiful people? It is Monday, the 11th of November, 2024. Welcome to TDA, the day after, your favorite news platform and the home of popular culture as defined by you guys, the culture. Of course, we're hosted by the best. We will be hosted in spirit by, my co-hosts. But I'm here with Brent. Brent, what you saying, man? How are you?
I am blessed and highly favored. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. Apologize again for the postponement of the stream. But let's just say good morning to the people in the chat box.
Yes.
Good morning, GMD. Davina, I heard it's your birthday today.
Happy birthday, happy birthday.
Happy birthday. That's not your birthday, it's your baby girl's birthday. So extra horns for that. What a blessing.
Yes.
DCF Mooks, Empress Naima. I love that name. Christy. Who else? Mr. Ashlows, Maggie, Antonia Hansen, Akuya, Chijoke, Andrew Archibald, Toby Sahid, Lala, Priz, Kwame, Charlene, Izzy Bambino, Omari McLean, Natty, Black Lad Travel. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Hope everybody's blessed and highly favored. Good morning, Ed. All right, then.
Yes. It's a good day, Brent, man.
Yeah. It's been a good weekend, so we start afresh. Are your spirits normally lifted at the beginning of a week? I know some people dread
Mondays, isn't it?
Mondays, yeah.
I'm not like that, I feel like, it's got nothing to do with it being Monday and the start of the week, to be fair. Yeah, I'm kind of just normal. And I think because I'm an early person, it doesn't really affect me as much, innit? Yeah. To be fair, you know what? I'm just trying to think now. If TDA started at, let's just say, 10 p.m., yeah, I might be a bit done at it,
Serious?
Yeah.
Why? Why is that?
I'm not a late person. Random times there, I start getting tired.
Is it because of your work schedule at present?
Yes and no. I think I'm just not a night person, unless obviously I'm doing something at night. You know what I mean? So I guess my mind kind of, saying that.
I've seen you alive at night.
Yeah.
Proper alive. Cause of mischief.
No, that's not the truth at all. But yeah, I'm just more so a morning person. So like getting up like 4 or 5 is not a problem for me. But staying up late, especially if I ain't napping during the day, yeah, that might cause an issue.
Yeah, I'm definitely a morning person. Definitely.
That's what I'm saying, man. It's the best.
Definitely. Like, just, I don't know. The promise of the day is just it's so bright, man.
Yeah.
It's bright. And I used to, was my first ever job was working in a bank, but in catering.
Okay.
And I used to wake up, I think at like 5 a.m. and used to don a suit and then make my way in the morning with the early birds on the train. And everybody always used to think like this young faced boy was dressed to the nines. And I always wondered like, where's this boy going? Because I could see them watching me. And I was young. And obviously, because I have a monkey face, like a baby face, like the suit, it just was a contrast in it. Because I just looked like I was going to church every single morning.
Yeah.
But they didn't know I was going to go and wash wares and stuff.
Going to work. That's it, man. That's what matters.
It was an agency that I think it was just general assistant. Yeah. But I think the first day that I arrived at this bank, I arrived with other temp workers, agency workers, and they were just changing out the previous team. And they had recently installed like a coffee bar in the bank, and there was nobody to man it. So when they now huddled us together and they were choosing who was going to be working in the kitchen, who was going to be like cleaning up and stuff. I'm there in my suit. Everybody else is not in their suits. And they're now looking for somebody to look after or just to man the coffee area. I'm the only presentable one there. So
There
they're
you
like,
go.
you.
There you go.
So for the entire time there, my job was just chilled. I got to talk to all of the workers and stuff. And I didn't even have to do anything. Like, I just stood there and just looked after it.
Yeah, yeah.
They gave me a chair. I got to basically make my own juices beforehand.
See?
And yeah, that was it.
See what I'm saying?
Yeah, that was it, man. It's good to look presentable.
100%.
You never know what might happen. I didn't wash anyways at all.
See? Simply because you was dressed like you didn't belong there. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
This is it, man.
But yeah, man, I've always loved the city in the morning. It's so crisp. And I don't know if it's because I've romanticized that type of life with the kind of like movies and TV series I watch. But I've always longed to be in the city and I own something in the city. I don't know why it feels important.
I know exactly what you mean.
But yeah, and when it is that you kind of walk through the streets and it's empty, you're seeing the milkman dropping off their stuff. You're seeing the pastry chefs dropping off their stuff. You're looking up. Everything's just tall.
Yep.
And you're feeling that brisk breeze. And you're hearing your shoes going. Oh, man.
It's a different sort of feel, man.
Yeah, it's a different type of knock, man. And then within 30 minutes, you're now seeing more people. And then half an hour, 45 minutes, it's as though it's midday.
Yeah.
You understand?
Yep.
That little portion of time, it changes so drastically.
Yeah. I think it being young and seeing all of that stuff does a lot for you, man. Like, even nowadays, do you feel like 16, 17-year-olds go to work?
What?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
As in, like, the average 16, 17-year-old, are they working? As in...
Like retail and stuff?
Yeah, and like 16, 17. I don't think so.
Yeah,
you know?
I do believe that they get their holiday jobs and whatnot.
Okay.
Why do you ask that question? Is it because you don't go into shops anymore?
No, but I see it as more so, like, in our time, like, all right, put it this way. You know, remember in our time, people had like what do they call it? A paper round. Obviously, I know things are different now, innit? Like, no one's really reading papers like that, unless you're getting it free from Metro and stuff. But in our time, people did that. People got bikes and did that. You know what I'm saying? But such a person would only be like 16, 17 years old. You know what I'm saying?
Sorry. Question.
Yeah.
Can you remember people doing paper rounds?
Yeah.
You're serious?
Of course.
I can't remember that.
Yeah, people did. 100%.
You must be really old. What area are you talking about? Like Little? East?
Yeah, East, man.
They were doing paper rounds.
People was doing paper rounds, man.
Where'd you get the papers from?
I mean, they didn't drop no paper at my house, but I'm just saying, like, people did it. So they would get
you
it from
saw people basically in a bike just flinging papers.
Let me make sure it's not made up. Hold on a sec. No, people that I knew. So people that, oh yeah, I do a paper round. So they'll get the newspaper from the newsagent, and then I guess they would go and give the papers and that. Yeah.
In Pembury?
No.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, it was more so like when I moved.
Yeah. But what other jobs did, and how old were they?
That's what I'm saying, like 16, 17.
16?
Young people. So they would just get normal, just like, you know, little pocket money sort of thing.
Sorry, when you were 16,
Yeah.
what were you doing for work? You tell me you were in retail.
No, I wasn't in retail. No.
What were you doing?
I went to retail. I did the agency thing as well.
Mayday.
Yes.
Sorry, okay, so you're going into the city.
No, but I did retail. What age was I when I did retail?
Let's drop retail for a second, yeah?
Okay, cool.
At 16, you remember Mayday.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you're going into the city to get agency jobs, right? Mm-hmm. And you're saying your peers were doing paper routes?
No, some of my peers wasn't doing.
Oh my gosh, I'm thinking the paper round could have been like, I don't know, 11, 12-year-olds
Oh, is it? Oh, so you're saying even younger?
Yeah, a whole
Okay.
16-year-old doing paper round. Have some shame. What?
Maybe, you know what? Maybe I'm getting the ages wrong then. But yeah, like because you remember, not a lot of people was working 16, 17, you know. Some people
In my
was.
head, all of them were looking for retail jobs.
Yeah, but not everyone got one. You know what I'm saying?
But
'Cause
paper round was
remember-
not the new.
Yeah, no, paper round wasn't like something that loads of people did, but some people did it. You know what I'm saying? And so in my head, I'm thinking 16, 17, a lot of people just chilling at home. Summer holidays, you ain't doing nothing. You're in between GCSEs and college, you ain't doing nothing. You know what I'm saying? Only certain people was like, nah, you know, I need to get some peace. Let me do certain things. You know what I'm saying? And so in my head, I'm now looking at the 16, 17-year-olds of today, and I'm thinking, are they doing that?
I think they are. You know, I think they're even looking for opportunities even before that time.
Is it?
Yeah, I think they're proactive with that. To be honest, I don't know if it is. It's because I've been around like youth work and stuff. So I see them from 13, 14 being more active, trying to make something of themselves. I mean, maybe that's the environment I was in. I don't know. But I'm not thinking that they're just dossing around.
Well, 16, 17? You was
Just
surprised?
dossing around.
You're right, by the way. People in the chat are saying paper round, but people did it from like, Shim did it between 12 and 14. Yeah, Ebony was talking about people. Yeah, exactly. You go news agents, start from like 15 years old. That's what I'm saying. So yeah, I guess it's around that sort of age group. But in my head, for some reason, I feel like people ain't doing that nowadays. But obviously, I'm out of the loop, innit? So
What has informed your opinion?
that's not the sort of thing you do today. Like the 16, 17, 18-year-old, the impression I get of them is TikTok. You know what I'm saying?
Wait, what do you mean? Like, because
No, I don't mean to be bad though.
I mean in the creative space, as in going out to basically do.
As in, when I'm not at school, what I'm spending my time doing is I'm just having fun and TikTok and social media, as opposed to let me make money. You know what I mean? But again, I'm out of the loop, innit? I'm just, it's kind of what I'm seeing.
So on TikTok you can make money.
peas, yeah, you can.
Yeah.
But a lot of them ain't doing that, innit? Like, we're talking about the creatives who are like, cool, I'm gonna do this on TikTok. They're creatives. But some people have accounts just to look at stuff, which is fine. It was like most people, right? And I'm basically saying, because in our time, there was nothing like that.
There wasn't social media in the 16.
Exactly. So we had to spend our time doing other things, innit?
Well,
You'd be out the house a bit
There was
more.
social media. It was like MSN.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Yeah, and Black Chat.
What's Black Chat?
I think it was Black Chat.
No, that's what thing is. That's what the show is, isn't it? No, that's Back Chat. Sorry.
Facepick. It was Facepick.
But how is that social media?
Because it's you are interacting with people.
Oh,
It was a primitive form. It wasn't
That's more like
in
Facebook.
real time.
okay, yeah. So that's more like Facebook and stuff, isn't it?
Facebook was
And you had BlackBerry Messenger and that as well, innit?
yeah. That was the early forms of communication network.
Oh no, maybe I'm sounding like an old person, man.
Yeah,
Thinking-
I'm wondering like how we've come up with this idea that these young people aren't looking for retail jobs and whatnot, and like where are you that
Yeah,
you're
well-
not seeing them?
Yeah.
Because I'm seeing them sprightly faces in the shops and whatnot.
Okay. I don't know. Maybe I'm just seeing it differently because
I see them come knock on the door asking for money for charity and stuff.
Well, as in your house though.
Yeah.
16, 17.
Yeah. Just
Actually, to be fair, yeah.
last week there was a girl, and she's there asking me how old I am. I was like, nah, don't be doing that. It's crazy.
Decided
I
to
had
get
to
in
hurry up and
trouble.
get grey hair, man.
You know, I've
And
got one.
wrinkly and wrinkly.
I've got one grey hair.
Not yet.
Is it? Oh, is it?
No.
I got one, man.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it just came out like, yeah.
I want it to
Damn
be
shame.
white, like a White Walker.
As opposed to
My
what?
family has a history of white hair and grey. It's not just I want something that I haven't seen in my lineage. It's there.
Yeah, but don't everyone go white if they go grey. Soon it just gets white and white, right? Or no?
There's grey and then there's white.
Yeah, but you get the grey first, don't you?
No, it's just for my family. It's white.
Just straight to white?
Yeah, it's straight to white.
Oh, serious?
Yeah. A bit like
White Walkers.
White Walker. yeah.
Interesting.
So who would you be?
Mm.
Where would you look? What would you look to basically use your time doing at 16 in this particular era, if you had your mindset?
I don't even know, you know. I might probably try and do something creative, to be fair.
Serious? Like on
Yeah.
TikTok?
Maybe. Yeah.
But you're currently not doing anything on TikTok or your Instagram. So,
Yeah. I mean, I want to, innit? But that's what I'm saying. Circumstances
wait,
make
you
it
want
difficult.
to start a TikTok?
No, not TikTok. Yeah, maybe.
But
It's the same
what's
as
the
Instagram.
difference?
Exactly, the same thing.
So what would you do on there?
Just stuff that would be related to stuff I kind of talk about here. So kind of a bit more the economics, more black related stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, take me there. Paint a picture, right? So we've seen a lot of face to camera, like pages,
Yes.
right? Is it going to be like a reboard type green screen background and you're
No.
all cut out, all wiggly
No,
in front of it?
Nothing too funny style, innit? Like,
That's not even fun. That's just lazy. That's
there
just
you go.
lazy. I hate watching that kind of stuff.
None of that sort of stuff.
But it did do numbers and stuff, innit?
Is it still doing numbers?
What?
Is it still doing numbers?
Those types of
Yeah.
100%. All the ones that I see, it's because
That's true. They're doing well,
they're
innit?
there, they do move like that, and then you see, here is such and such.
Yeah.
And it's all cut out, all janky.
Isn't that just a TikTok thing though, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know if you get that feature on Instagram.
But a lot of people, I guess, just take their videos from TikTok and put it on Instagram, innit?
Yeah. But I'm like thinking, like, I understand that, I don't know, you got the time to basically do this. I mean, the feature of just removing the background is on TikTok, right? And you just replace it with whatever source material that you want. Cool. But have some.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
know.
You know?
But at the same time,
That's why I like what Ramsey's doing.
yes, big up Ramsey, guys.
All the
Check
time.
out his Instagram page.
Yeah.
Has he got TikTok? You might as well put
Yes,
it on
he has.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Oh, sick.
And he's basically had to find a way around dodging the censorship, because obviously when you put music and stuff without doing certain things, it just locks it, right? Because they're not about people teeth and stuff and everything in it. So he's found ways, and you see how his production value is, getting better and better. I don't know what the source he uses. I've got no clue, because the things that I was seeing last time was like there was like a background that was just gone and the words were just going up. He's now using the lyrics. And he's sending things in and out. I don't know how long it's taking him, but I hope it's not a thing where it's taking him hours to just produce a 2-minute thing. You understand? Whatever he's doing, I hope it is that he's streamlining the process.
But probably it might start that way though, innit?
And then you get used to it.
Yeah. Then you find some way, some method to wrap it up in like 45 minutes.
A lot of people don't even know that Ramsey used to own a clothing line. Like, he used to be proper creative.
Yes.
So,
I mean, he's still creative, but, you know.
Yeah, I would say used to be. Like, he stopped doing it. Do you understand?
Yeah.
So he's now taking this like a second wind.
It's true, man.
And I love the meticulous nature, the detail. Yeah, I love it.
Yeah,
Love it. Ramsey. Put in the wrong skin.
He's gonna come for you.
Ah, man.
Pause.
Come on, man.
No, I said that because if Rams was here, he would have said pause.
Oh, is it?
100%. But yeah, man.
Let's just jump in the headlines.
Let's do it. All right, people. So our first set of headlines: Israeli PM Benjamin Netanyahu says that he and President-elect Trump see eye to eye on the Iranian threats and have spoken 3 times since the election. As reported a little earlier, Israeli Prime Minister Netanyahu has said that he's spoken with President-elect Donald Trump 3 times in the last few days. But Netanyahu is not the only political leader who has been on the other end of the phone to Trump since Wednesday's election result. It's also been reported that President-elect Trump has held conversations with the Ukrainian President Zelensky, Mexican President Claudia Sheinbaum, and the head of the European Commission, Ursula von der Leyen, among others. Trump is projected to have won Arizona, meaning that he's taken all 7 swing states in the US presidential election. Remember, like I was saying to you, this is a landslide victory, you know. Not even close.
Keep saying that, innit? Because I told you there are rumblings, right? And I don't know where the rumblings are coming from, but it's gathering speed, right? I watched a video, and I'm bookmarking everything, right? I watched a video where this person broke down that within each state, they're showing the stats of who voted for president and then who voted for what governor.
Okay.
And one would think you would normally
Yeah.
vote for the same party in each.
Okay.
It will make sense, right?
Yeah. Okay.
I mean, like, I'm taking you there. Do you think it makes sense that
Yeah,
one
it makes
would,
sense. Yeah.
you know,
But not
align to the same
necessarily.
ideals and values?
But not necessarily. Because like we say on the show as well.
No, I believe there is always an outlier.
There you
but
go.
in majority, you kind of have that same ideology attached to both prime minister or
Do you
councillor,
think that's still the case with somebody as polarizing as Trump?
MP.
Because you know, I know a lot of people have been like, "Oh, I don't like Trump," right? So cool, I can't bring myself to vote for Trump. But the senator, the governor, whatever it may be, I'll vote for that Republican, but I'll vote Democrat because I don't like Trump. So you might get that sort of disparity between the two.
You think that Republicans or the Republican Party
Yeah.
they're less right than Trump presents?
Yeah, but what do you mean by party though?
You know, Trump used to be a Democrat.
Yeah.
I believe he's more liberal
Okay.
than some of these
Yeah. The crazy
Republicans.
staunch ones, yeah.
This is
But you're talking about party members though. We're talking about party voters, people that vote for that party.
yeah.
So I might vote for Trump, but I may not agree with half of the things he says. I just agree with him more than the left. Do you know what I'm saying?
I don't know. I mean, in my mind, it's supposed to be aligned. It's traditionally supposed to be aligned.
It makes more sense that it's the case, but like we've said in the show many times, to get real change, sometimes you have to vote, like really take care of the local elections. So if your governor may have more say in your state, you may say, "Cool, I like this person as this Democrat person because you know what I'm saying? They will change a particular thing. My daughter, God forbid, may need you know what I'm saying? So I'm going to vote for this particular person. But in the grand scheme of things, I like the way the economy is handled by Trump. I like the way immigration is handled by Trump. So you might separate the two like that.
No, I understand how some people would do that. I don't think it's just the majority.
Yeah.
I
don't
think the
it's
majority would just vote Dems in and vote Dems for their state.
Yeah.
Anyway, so this person's broken this down. And this person is seeing that there are hundreds and thousands of people on their ballot paper. They voted for Trump, but then they haven't voted for Eddie,
Okay.
governor. Do you understand?
Yeah.
Like none. And it just happens to be the amount that was needed to basically make him.
I don't believe that.
Like, look, I could send it to you. I could play it right now. You want me to play it right now?
Play it right now.
I would play it right now.
Is it video, yeah?
Huh?
The video? Or
Yes,
just
the video.
vocals? Okay, cool.
It's a video.
Okay, cool.
And again, I'm just bookmarking these things. Remember, I told you that there's an eerie silence from the Dems. I feel as though they're planning something.
They might be playing something, but they ain't going to succeed. They lost fair and square. You know what I'm saying? They can't do this, man. Look at how they were saying Trump is a sore loser when Trump lost in 2020. You know what I mean? Like, you can't now start flipping stuff around and... Nah, man.
And some rumor that's going around at present, and it's gathering speed, is that Elon Musk lent them some Starlink machines. Now, obviously, at this point, I'm laughing at the entire thing because I remembered when they were laughing at Republicans for losing and also claiming that it was stolen, right?
Yeah.
And now it's on the flip side, but they're going ham on it.
That's what I'm saying to you.
They're going ham. And I think they're going harder than I saw the Republicans going. But if there is some sort of truth, or the Dems could manufacture truth, that somehow Starlink
It's behind all this.
was connected, because apparently only the results that are dubious were in the states that
swing
Elon
states.
sent
Okay.
Starlink machines to.
You see what I'm saying?
There's not only coincidence, I'm guessing, right? So here's the video. Let me play it on 1.5 speed. I'm watching all this. I'm thinking, what is happening in our lifetime? And I'm saying, I'm so glad I have this platform to basically just, commentate on all of this whilst it's going on.
Every single swing state in the 2024 election, there is one very consistent question. I'd like to start in North Carolina. North Carolina overwhelmingly elected Democratic Governor Josh Stein with over 3 million votes. They elected a woman Democrat,
I don't
Rachel
think
Hunt, as the lieutenant
people are
governor.
gonna follow
Elected a
this,
Democrat as their attorney general. Democratic.
Do
it's fast.
1.25, yeah.
Okay. I'll put it on 1, because he speaks quite fast.
Okay.
Through the data of every single swing state in the 2024 election, there is one very consistent question. I'd like to start in North Carolina. North Carolina overwhelmingly elected Democratic Governor Josh Stein with over 3 million votes. They elected a woman Democrat, Rachel Hunt, as the lieutenant governor. Elected a Democrat as their attorney general. Democratic secretary of state. A Democratic woman lost in the Supreme Court race by 7,000 votes. And you get to the presidential race, and Donald Trump won by 189,406 votes. Now, what's interesting here? 356,884 people cast a vote for president and did not cast a vote for governor.
You get a piece of paper, you're instructed. You're instructed.
But it happens, stop it.
What happened?
People don't always vote for the other thing,
Wait, tell me something. No. What he has just said. People don't vote for their local, you mean?
Yeah.
Wait, when you say that people don't do that, are you saying from this country? Because when you come to this country, you don't get to vote for
What?
the prime minister.
Yeah, I know. But it's the last election. There was what was there? There was 2 things, wasn't there?
You mean the
4th of July one.
referendum?
No. The last 4th of July election. We didn't go in there and just vote, tick one sheet. There was 2. There was something else. I'm pretty sure.
As in what, we could vote for Rishi?
Yeah, and something else. No, we couldn't vote for the direct prime minister. No, we voted for the party, like you're saying. But there was some other thing that we voted for. I can't remember what it is though.
But I hear what you're saying, but
Yeah.
I'm trying to gauge how you've decided that this is what happens in America.
Because it happens here.
What happens here?
Sometimes, like in that situation where you get 2 of these sheets, I can't remember what exactly it was.
What do we normally practice here?
No, I get what you're saying. But what I'm saying is sometimes you're voting for 2 things. So they say to you, oh, on this particular sheet, this is for da-da-da-da-da-da. And this one, the pink slip, or whatever it is, you're voting for da-da-da-da-da. That's what I'm trying to say. So in some of these situations, someone might think, I don't know what the hell this is for.
So let's just run with what you're saying.
Yes.
Where have you seen evidence that people have done that?
I mean, I almost did.
So that's how you're gauging.
And because I know, like, why wouldn't you? Why would you always vote for on a sheet that you know nothing about?
The thing is, the House Republicans and the Congress, it's an active thing in Americans' minds from since they're young. Do you
Yeah.
understand? It's not
Okay.
a thing where you forget that this is what is important. Do you
Yeah.
understand?
Yeah.
So when you say people do it all the time, I don't know if that is true.
When you look at
And I don't understand how you're trying to make the argument. Like, how can you make the argument?
what I'm basically getting at is, I wouldn't be surprised if somebody sat down, 3 people from America sat down here and told me, yeah, I only focused on the main thing. I wouldn't be surprised.
All right, so, and it's a coincidence that the amount needed.
That's what he's saying.
Again, I'm just playing the video.
right.
I was surprised that you were making an argument to say, yeah, this makes sense to me. It didn't make sense to me.
Okay, wait. So in the chat, they've corrected me. Chichike said that was the London mayor election and we voted for the assembly. Yeah, so there was 2 somethings. We voted for the general and the mayor something. So yeah, so that's what I'm trying to say. So you may get a situation where you're voting for 2 different things. If I don't know nothing about the mayors, right, I'm leaving that one alone. I vote for the other thing. Because what you're saying,
I don't know if you will allow me to make this argument if I'm on the other side of this discussion.
Why?
Because I've proven nothing other than here's some words I'm throwing at you.
No, I
Here's
get that.
a possibility.
No, I
and then
get that, Brent.
maximize that, multiply that.
No,
And that's my argument.
No, but what I'm trying to say is, I know I have no proof of this. But what I'm saying is, it's not inconceivable for me to look at the people that go in. No disrespect to the people that vote, right? But the majority that go in there, knowing their Labour, their this, that, and the third, knowing who's on their thingy, right? Sorting that out, and then looking at the other sheet and thinking, who the hell is everybody else except Sadiq Khan? Nah. Do you get what I'm saying?
Let me continue playing.
In 2020, North Carolina had a House race. The discrepancy there between the House and the presidential votes was 199,000. I'd love to hear from any of the hundreds of thousands of people in North Carolina that voted for Donald Trump and left the rest of their ballot completely blank. Next, let's look at Michigan, who elected to the Senate a Democratic woman in Alyssa Slotkin. 5,393,906 people voted in the Senate race. 5,641,411 voted for president. That is a difference of 247,505. I would love to hear from any of the 150,000 people that voted for Donald Trump and did not vote for Mike Rogers. You might ask, didn't Michigan have a Senate race in 2020? What was the discrepancy then? It was 59,282 people that voted for the president and did not vote for the senator. So a difference of almost 200,000 votes in that category, and another Democratic woman winning while Kamala Harris loses. And it's funny you mentioned that, because let's take a look.
See, so you're getting in a democratic state that they're voting for the House or Congress or whatever, right? Democratic.
Okay.
But then they've gone and voted for Trump as the main person. They're like, wait, why wouldn't you vote for the Republican in that particular state as opposed to the Democrat?
Okay, so let's just say I know this particular governor has done well in my state. I'm from Florida or wherever. This governor's good. I like her values.
You're doing it again. You're just...
Because it makes sense to me.
All right, cool. Let me just continue playing it.
Look next door, where a Democratic woman who was a lesbian, Tammy Baldwin, was able to win her Senate race as well. Funny enough, by just the right margin, is about 60,000 votes in Wisconsin for Donald Trump that didn't feel like voting in the Senate race. And I would love to hear from a Wisconsin Republican that voted for Donald Trump but didn't want to give their vote to Eric. In 2020, Wisconsin had a Senate race. The discrepancy was 14,990 votes between people that voted for the president and people that voted for the Senate. This year, it was 56,125. Now let's look at Nevada, a state that re-elected a Democratic woman to the Senate in Jackie Rosen. Once again, Donald Trump won by 46,000 votes. About 70,000 of those, it seems like they didn't fill out the rest of their ballot or vote for the senator. Isn't that interesting? Would love to hear from a Nevada Republican that didn't want to vote for Sam Brown but voted for Donald Trump. There are a lot of you. Finally, turning to Pennsylvania, 176,000 ballots cast a vote for president without voting for the Senate race, which is hotly contested. That Senate race was deeply cared about by both parties, incredibly well advertised on both sides. So much money went into those campaigns. Very interesting to see 175,000 ballots only voting for the president. Arizona is completely inept, so I can't analyze their data yet. Georgia did not have any kind of large election underneath the president that I could look at. Very interesting stuff. If you're one of the hundreds of thousands of ballots that decided this election that seemingly only had one line filled out, let me know in the comments your mindset and why you don't seem to care about anything else. Very interesting stuff.
So, did you look for the comments and see if anybody responded to this guy?
Yeah, but I don't know if that, again, I'll be using your math. Because if 1%, I did what you're saying.
No, but then it's...
Yeah, there you go. That's not how you do things.
All right, so we should do things the way you're saying.
What am I saying?
Okay, the way
he's done is presented the facts.
Yeah.
The stats.
But he's saying, it's very interesting, he's implying there's some shenanigans going on.
I do believe he's saying that it's weird for you to not vote for the Republican for the Senate.
Yeah.
Like, you just don't at all. Even in the states where there was bare marketing behind it, and you just vote for Trump. And he got just the right amount of votes to basically tip the scale.
He's calling it just the right amount. In one of those examples, he said the previous election, the Democrats, there was a disparity of like 49,000 or something like that. But he ain't complaining about it. about that. He's basically just saying this time it was 200-something thousand. Last time it was 49,000. This time it's 200,000. Because this time, I think, again, it's just my opinion, people really care about who takes office. Senate stuff, yeah, cool. But who's in that seat in the White House?
You know what? People also know that whoever is in the Senate, whoever is in the House or whatever other Congress, whatever the two, I don't know what it's called.
Yeah.
The pillars of state. I don't know what it's called.
Yeah, I don't know.
That's where the decisions are made. That's how policies get run through or it's blocked. So to suggest as though they think it's just the president that runs things, it's woefully inaccurate. But anyway, I question the whole 20 million extra votes for Biden. When I saw what happened in the last two elections, the amount of people that turned out, now, I don't know if it has anything to do with COVID or whatnot. I don't know. But I question that because that looks very dubious, right? Very, very dubious. So why can't I bookmark this and be like, something's brewing. This may have some legs, right? Now, I told you, it's very quiet over there in the Biden administration. Very quiet. And obviously, Alex Jones has come out to basically say, just within the last 7-8 hours, he's done a live stream saying, we've gotten information that they're going to basically replace, Biden's going to step down, Kamala's going to be replacing him. And before the inauguration day, which is in 69, 70 days, he's going to get popped.
Be clear, who's going to get popped?
They're saying Trump is going to get popped. This is what Alex Jones is saying, not they. Alex Jones is saying that he's got some intel.
Why is it beneficial for Biden to step down and come to take power?
Well, if he gets popped, Biden's in power right now.
Yeah, he's going to be out of power in January.
He's not alive. But so you need somebody at the helm, right?
Yeah, but what I'm saying is,
if Trump gets popped,
I
mean, you can't pass it over to the next Republican.
You just pass it to Vance.
Next Republican?
Vance, he's VP.
That's not how it happens.
Why not?
Because
I don't.
Wait. I don't know. I should say I don't know.
telling you.
I'm just running off of my own thoughts here, right? I don't think that makes sense because they didn't look to
Vote for him?
vote for him.
That's what happens. So, for example, if Biden, God forbid, passed away today, the VPs, the what do you call it? Kamala Harris will be the president. Happened in the 60s with JFK and
So
Lyndon
it will be
Johnson.
Vance that gets it.
100%.
Okay. So both of them will need to be killed.
Yes, which means none of them will be.
Well, Alex Jones said whatever Alex Jones said, did it?
But Alex Jones is the type of guy that will say, okay, guys, this is the intel we've got. Let's huddle together and prevent this from happening. His next stream will be about how he went to war with the underlords.
So basically, there's no veracity in any of Alex Jones' musings.
There might be, but he will prevent it. Well, people will prevent it.
Do you think he's like our version of that guy who third encounter? I know so many things. The white-haired guy. You named him a couple of times when you talking about conspiracy theories, and you said you really, really.
David Icke.
That's the one. Listen, people everywhere.
Basically. No, but David Icke's a bit more. He's a bit more on the fringes. In fact, a lot more.
You think that Alex Jones isn't on the fringe?
Not like David Icke, no.
Ooh, you think there's more to him than David Icke?
David Icke, I could be wrong, but I don't think Alex Jones goes into the spiritual like that. Does he?
Of course he does.
No, but I think it's more so like, again, correct me if I'm wrong. The impression I get of Alex Jones is more so like, Brent, and not you, but the guys over there believe in that spiritual thing. This is why they behave this way. David Icke tells you they believe in a spiritual thing, and those spiritual things sometimes meet up on Thursdays, and he tells you it's real.
You're saying that you don't think that Alex Jones believe in lizard people?
Exactly.
He said it many times before.
No, but the impression I'm getting is that he says that the people believe in the lizard people. Not that he does.
So you're saying he doesn't believe in them?
Exactly. But he believes that those people
Let me show you a clip.
Yeah, it showed me 100%.
Yeah, let me show you some clips.
For real?
Yeah, because he's out there.
I would like him even more.
He's out there.
Serious?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sick.
Yeah. But anyway, I'm just letting you know. I'm on the job. Yeah, I put my ears to the ground because I find all this very fascinating. Like it's so fascinating because I can see a world where the Biden administration, and not just the Biden administration, the industrial war complex,
Okay.
yeah, the deep state tries to remove him before time, right?
Him being Trump.
Him being Trump,
Cool.
as opposed to what, Vance?
No, just want to be clear, innit? What we're saying.
You're saying that this is legit. That if it is Trump goes, then it's Vance up next. I don't know how that works.
Yeah, 100%.
But
Because you're
cool,
voting for
cool.
both people, innit? That's how it works.
Okay.
This is why. Oh, was it Jimmy Carter? There's a clip of a president. Someone in the chat would know, and he goes to a school, and somebody asks him. This is like in the 80s. Yeah, I believe in the 80s. Oh, do you think there'll ever be a woman president? And he said, yeah, but let me tell you how they'll do it. They'll have some other president. This other president will have her as his VP. He'll be old. He will die in office, and then she'll take over.
But does this qualify if they're not sworn in yet?
I think so. I think you just have to get the other guy, the replacement, and he'll get sworn in.
What I'm saying is, can they legally swear in the
VP.
the potential or the future vice president?
Yeah. I think so.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
I'm gonna ask ChatGPT.
Yeah. Because you're voting for both people, essentially. Like I said, this is what happened. I mean, obviously, it's a bit different with when they haven't been sworn in. But I think it's the same
it's
thing.
different when it's not sworn in?
No, in terms of what you're saying. But I think it's the same principle. I think exactly the same principle. Yeah. Like the video, people. Like the video. But yeah, man, that's what I think will happen. But there's definitely no getting around it, man. The Republicans won. Trump won. Vance basically won. And they're going to get stuff done, man. They're going to get stuff done.
I mean, that's nice and hopeful, isn't it? Let's see. If a president-elect dies before being sworn in, the answer depends on the U.S. constitutional law and established procedures. The most likely outcome, based on historical precedent and legal interpretation, is that the vice president-elect would become president upon inauguration day. Yes, so it says that's what would happen.
Yeah. Unless you're basically saying that J.D. Vance could be compromised. So by getting rid of Trump, you're getting a lesser version of Trump, a far lesser version of Trump in Vance. He takes power and then he can be controlled. Unless that's what you may be saying.
Or you're saying that Trump is the maverick they want removed?
Potentially, yeah. Based on what you're saying.
Not necessarily the Republican Party, but just
exactly
the leader-in-chief. Fair point. Fair point.
But yes, we are still on our first headline, Brent.
Yeah.
Let's go on to our second one. So, Russia and Ukraine have carried out their biggest drone attacks against each other since the start of the war. Russia's defense ministry said it intercepted 70 Ukrainian drones over 6 regions, including some approaching Moscow, which forced flights to be diverted from 3 of the capital's major airports. Ukraine's Air Force said that Russia launched 145 drones towards all parts of the country, with most of them being shot down. The barrages come amid expectations that the US President-elect Donald Trump may put pressure on both sides to end the conflict. The President-elect regularly said in his election campaign that he could end the war in a day, but has not offered details on how he would do that. Ukraine's attempted strike on Moscow was reportedly its largest attack on the capital since the war began and was described as massive by the region's governor. One person was reported injured as drones were shot down near the Russian capital, and there's images on social media showing residential buildings on fire. And our last headline, Sir Keir Starmer will attend Armistice Day commemorations in France today. He'll be the first UK leader to do so since Winston Churchill in the Second World War. Towns and cities across France will mark the 106th anniversary of the Armistice Agreement in 1918 that brought fighting in the First World War to an end. Sir Keir Starmer is expected to lay a wreath at Paris War Memorials close to the Champs-Élysées and also at the Arc de Triomphe, tomb of the unknown soldier, which is a national symbol for all those who have died in France in the war. Prime Minister said, I am honoured to be in Paris to stand united with President Macron in tribute to the fallen of the First World War who made the ultimate sacrifice for the freedom that we enjoy today. Sir Keir and President Macron will also have talks ahead of the commemorations to discuss issues like the wars in Ukraine and also in Gaza. And that is it for our headlines. Let's go on to our topic of the day. Can you play it?
Yeah, I can, but it's 48 minutes long.
Cool, blimey.
But let me forward it to myself and read the caption instead. That might be enough.
All right, cool. All right, people. So today's topic of the day, right, is going to be based loosely around the legendary figure Nat Turner. I'm going to give you guys a bit of a biography on who he was, why he's loved by so many, and also kind of just use his life and what he did to ask the question of, do you feel like there's still a place for like revolutions and rebellions today in modern society, right? For those who don't know, Nat Turner was born. Oh, okay, Brent's got something up for us.
Just before we dive into proper stuff. So this is the stream I'm talking about. Cool it. Democrat deep state is planning to install Harris in presidency before Trump's inauguration. Then Trump will be conveniently assassinated. Next false flags, terror attacks will provide cover for martial law to be declared. Must watch. Share.
So is he basically saying then that the inauguration will be delayed, essentially, isn't it? Because obviously the martial law and all that other stuff. Is that basically what he's saying? Because then you've got a reason to be like, okay, cool, let's get, you know what I mean, things settled, I don't know. That's what it sounds like.
Alex Jones.
But yeah.
How come he's like allowed to basically say this like it's nothing?
Right, because it's a free country, isn't it? Freedom of speech and that.
Fair. Would you say wild stuff?
I don't think I would say anything different to what I'm saying now, to be fair. Yeah. Yeah. You have to be responsible for what you say, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yes. All right, guys. So, like I was saying, Nat Turner, for those who don't know, he was born October 2nd in 1800 in Southampton County in Virginia, right? He grew up enslaved in a deeply religious environment, and from a young age, he displayed an extraordinary intelligence and spiritual depth that set him apart. Nat Turner reportedly taught himself how to read and write, which is a rare skill for enslaved individuals, as you guys know, and as slaveholders feared that educated enslaved people would be more likely to resist. He was known for his intense religious convictions, and he believed that he was chosen by God to lead his people out of slavery. He often recounted visions and signs that he believed were divine messages, interpreting solar eclipses and other natural phenomena as calls to action. So, you know, like with the eclipse, he saw it as that was the black man's hand over the sun, you know what I mean? And And he became a preacher within the enslaved community, known for his deep sense of purpose and a belief that he had a unique mission to fulfill. So he was inspired by his visions. Turner began gathering followers who shared his commitment to freedom and resistance. Prior to all of this, though, because he knew how to read and write, he was a reverend. So he was actually a reverend. He was the one who led a lot of the preaching on Sundays. And obviously, you know, back then, our people, enslaved people, they didn't have the full Bible. They had the slave Bible, right? So everything in there that kind of just reinforced the idea that slavery was okay. God was fine with it, you know what I'm saying? The white God. But yeah, with regards to the whole solar eclipse, though, there was one that happened in February 1831, and he interpreted it as a divine signal to prepare for rebellion. So he spent months secretly planning, drawing on his connections within the community to form a small but committed group of about 70 enslaved and free black people. The rebellion began August 21st of that same year, 1831, with Turner and his followers moving from plantation to plantation in Southampton County, attacking slave holders and liberating enslaved people. He was armed mainly with axes, knives, and tools that you got from the farms. And he and his people killed about 55 to 65 white people over the course of 2 days. Their aim was to incite a larger uprising that would spread across Virginia and ideally the entire South. Okay, let's get to the suppression of what happened, right? So the rebellion was quickly suppressed, unfortunately, by state and federal forces, with local militias mobilizing to track down and capture the rebels. Nat Turner managed to evade capture for nearly 2 months, by the way, guys. So he made it basically for 2 months. He was just on the run and he was hiding in swamps and in forests and things of that nature. And he eventually was captured October 30th, 1831. He was then tried, and obviously he wasn't going to, you know what I mean, bust case. Yeah, and then he was executed basically today, November 11th, 1831. So today was the day. What happened?
So why did you decide to use a different topic of the day if as you knew that this was dropping today?
Oh, no, well, in the intro, I was just going to big him up. I wasn't going to go into
okay.
the detail about him.
All right.
So, but yeah, but everything happens for a reason. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, in the aftermath of the rebellions, guys, a violent backlash erupted across Virginia and other southern states. Over 100 black people, both free and enslaved, were killed by angry mobs and militia forces in retaliation, many of whom had no involvement in the rebellion, right? Southern states enacted new, stricter laws that restricted the rights of black people, including banning the education of both free and enslaved African Americans, curtailing their rights to assemble, and limiting religious gatherings without white supervision. Limiting religious gatherings without white supervisions, right? The legacy and impact, right? Cool. Though the rebellion, again, as mentioned, was short-lived, his actions had profound and lasting impacts on America. The fear instilled in white Southern society intensified calls for more oppressive measures to control the enslaved population, even as abolitionists in the North pointed to Turner's rebellions as tragic yet powerful, right? And it was they kind of used it as a powerful argument against the inhumanity of slavery. And his rebellion also influenced future generations of black leaders and freedom fighters, becoming a symbol of resistance against oppression. His life and story continue to invoke complex discussions on the morality of violent resistance, the fight for human rights, and the lengths people go to or may go to when denied justice. Turner's legacy is often viewed as both tragic and heroic, representing the desperation and the resilience of those fighting for freedom under brutal conditions. I think a lot of the time, or at least right now, if I ask you guys in the chat, whoever's listening, I think people may point to what's going on in Gaza, right? As the likely, the first thing that comes to mind with regards to what people are prepared to do, right, in terms of getting what they believe is justice. And without being, what's the word, insensitive at all, right, and not trying to be disrespectful at all, we see what the West is doing. We see who they're favoring, and we see the further subjugation and oppression of people in Gaza, right, the Palestinians. And so this is why I want to ask this question. Do you feel like violent protests, violent rebellions and revolutions still has a place in 2024? Can people like Nat Turner, can people like Dessalines, can people like who come up from amongst the people and gather the people have that sort of impact today in 2024? And if not, what is an effective strategy for people who want real change? You know what I'm saying? That's basically the question I'm going to ask people today. So obviously we can look at some of the modern ones, like I said, that's happening in Gaza. We saw what happened with Black Lives Matter with George Floyd. We saw what happened, Esther mentioned it every now and again about the NSAS protests in Nigeria as well. Yeah. But a lot of these things have ended with those protests kind of being suppressed, innit? And people dying and stuff like this. So my question is, like, again, do you feel like it has a place today?
No. I'm going to take that stance.
Okay.
You're going to take the yes?
I'll take the yes.
Well, that'll be nice.
I wasn't really trying to, I guess, take that position, but just more so just saying what could be the alternative so we can get the same desired results, but maybe in a different way.
So the ingredients that led to a successful revolt in Nat Turner's time was a large group of people were all experiencing the same type of hopelessness, right?
Yeah.
And when you weigh up that with the hope of liberation, I think you get a favorable outcome. You get more potential soldiers.
Okay.
In Western society,
Mm-hmm.
that can't run. Only because a lot of us are comfortable.
So we're not hopeless enough.
I don't think so.
Okay.
I don't think so at all. In Gaza, 100% I could see that possible. And I guess even before that ill-fated day, you could probably say there's a probability that this might happen.
100%. I mean, it's been happening anyway prior to this, right?
Yeah.
And I don't want to be negative, but I don't think anyone would bet that October
It's not going to be the last.
will be the last.
No, I don't believe so at all. Yeah, so we're too comfortable over here. The Black Lives Matter stuff, I mean, I know you're not trying to parallel it because black people didn't go out looking to exact
Yeah, no, not at all.
like death upon anybody.
Yeah.
Even though they were responding to a series. I remember that time, that period so vividly. Like we were seeing it on Facebook Live, Twitter,
Yeah.
Instagram, like one after the other, they were just killing black people and not being held to account. But when we rose up, it wasn't to go and kill. It was to shout and scream and to show them that there's a promise of a bite if something isn't done.
Yeah.
And there was momentum. If there wasn't momentum, I don't know. I don't know if it is. It would have been sustained.
Okay.
But during that particular time, we were in lockdown, innit? So we were just frustrated anyway. We were frustrated with the system anyway, with the institution anyway. So it didn't take much for us to now say, yeah, I want to stretch my legs.
Do you think that sort of rebellion or that sort of protest with BLM was successful?
In some degrees, yes.
Okay.
And in
Sorry,
other
go on.
degrees, it was like it shot past its goal and was kind of perceived as an overcorrection. And in that, they're now trying to fiercely
Go back.
adjust it. I mean, people like Candace Owens looking to make the entire, looking to frame the entire movement and put it on the lap of this fraud group.
Alleged fraud group.
Or alleged.
I mean, they would say they're not fraudulent, innit?
No, they did fraudulent things with the money. I don't know what you're talking about. You're still saying that they're allowed to do that?
Hell no. I
So
mean,
what do you mean alleged?
only because I know that they probably believe that, they didn't do anything fraudulent. Because, you know what? One of the things I saw from Candace Owens is when she was talking about them buying mansions, right? Or a mansion. That was meant to be the headquarters.
The headquarters.
Yeah. Now, legally, if you're a charity, which I believe they were kind of operating under, is that not allowed? Do you not need a headquarters? Do you not use your headquarters to kind of run events and things of that nature in that vicinity?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Basically, by law, is it wrong?
As in having like an office space as the headquarters or a fully fledged mansion?
Fully fledged mansion. The point I'm making is, to us, yeah, if we contributed, if we did certain things, we'd find it, disgusting, in it. But what I'm trying to say is,
but that's important that you say
100%,
that.
100%.
It's important that you actually compare it to goodwill, good intentioned people, knowing full well the nature of things, knowing full well the world's eyes are watching you.
Yeah.
And please correct me if I'm wrong, but in their tenets, weren't they looking to basically just eviscerate the nuclear family?
Yeah, but again, see, they wouldn't see it that way. They wouldn't see it that way. Because remember, a lot of what they were saying the nuclear family is what it is based on the perspective of patriarchy. man has decided that this is the nuclear family. If we want to have a nuclear family which consists of 2 women and a baby that comes from somewhere, then that is our nuclear family. Because remember, all of them, if I'm not wrong, were not, you know what I mean? Yeah. They're part of the LGBT community. So that's their idea of a nuclear family too. We want the right to be able to say this is ours. So in order to do that, we must break down this, which is your idea of the nuclear family. So they wouldn't see it as, oh, we're trying to do something bad. They will see it as, cool, we're trying to level the playing field. Anything you want to be the nuclear family, if it works for you and there's love there, whatever it may be, that's what it is for us. You know what I mean? So I think that's the angle that they would go with. And this is why I mentioned the whole thing about the mansion, because they would see it as, okay, it's not fraudulent because under the law, have we done anything that's crazy?
So I said that I believe in parts it was successful.
Okay.
Why? Is because during that period, even though it didn't last, you were able to get things funded. Just during that period, you can get more or less anything funded. And I do believe certain companies change their policies as it pertains to DEI and stuff. Yes, again, it could have been short-lived. It also could have been just lip service. I think I remember Stephen saying that they had created so many different roles and they asked him if it is that he wants to man one of them, right? And when it is, he found out like what it was backed up against. It was literally nothing. But again, during that time, it was sweet, like looking at white people and their faces and stuff, and then them kind of bowing their head. And I think I also like the fact that the next day, not like practically the next day, but we're now seeing them trying to run away from it completely. Do you understand? The complete, now let me just dust this dirt off.
Yep.
I like that.
Yeah.
Because it reminds people that when it is I was saying this happening, hey, just calm down.
Yep.
Don't think everything's changing just yet. They will revert to type.
Yeah.
The elastic band will come back.
100%.
You understand? So I also like that because I like when racist people show me who they are.
Yeah.
I prefer them to be racist than not.
Exactly.
You know? When I say not, as in to be racist, but not show me that they're racist.
Don't hide it.
Yeah.
So, okay. Like you rightly said, BLM movement, that there wasn't violence there. We responded to violence, but there wasn't a violent response.
Yeah, there wasn't violence on humans. It was on infrastructure, isn't it?
There you go. Exactly. Thank you for that. The question I have to follow from that is, with modern society, and this is not me necessarily saying 100, 200 years ago, we didn't have democratic systems in place. They were there. Voting existed. Things were there, right? But with these democratic systems, with communication throughout the world, is there more channels for change or less channels for change, for legitimate change? Because let me give you an example. If, for example, we've got everybody communicating around the world, we've got democratic systems in place, and we know that we can go out there and we can vote, we can do certain things. Does that mean that the arena for somebody to feel, you know what, I'm dispossessed, I'm disenfranchised, I'm subjugated, I'm oppressed, and so I'm going to respond X, Y, Z way, and then lash out and do what I do? Does that become smaller and smaller because now there are different ways, or at least they tell us there are different ways to actually bring about change? Or is there less ways to bring out change because now the powers that be have said you can only operate in these 3 lanes? If it's not in these 3 lanes, police will sort you out. Is this a systematic, I don't know, like agenda to control mankind and basically say everything that you want to do to bring about change needs to be on my watch? You know what I'm saying? I need to approve of this. Does that make sense? Are you following me?
No, say it a different way.
Okay.
Ask the question a different way. Because you said a lot, but I don't know what the question was again.
Us having access to news around the world.
Yes.
Everyone, global communications, everyone's seeing what's going around the world, right? So, for example, we can say, stop what's going on in Gaza. We can say, stop what's going on in Sudan.
As in on Twitter and stuff.
Yes.
Just type.
Yeah. But not just the typing part, the fact that I can see it now.
Yeah.
Because there's you know what I mean, there's networks around the world filming certain things, people are putting up on social media.
Yeah.
So people can kind of be aware of what's going on.
Yeah.
In addition to that, we have more rigid democratic systems. We have voting, we have elections that everyone tunes into. There's certain things in place where we choose our leaders, right? Even if you feel like it's fake, it's conspiracy, there's still something there where people all have a vote to say right? With these things in place, does it make violent protests and I guess, for lack of a better word, the opportunity to bring about change via a revolution, a violent protests, less likely or more likely? Shall I give examples of why it could make each?
So the pathways to protest
Yeah.
right now are, one, let the police know that you're about to march down this particular such and such, so you can basically get the relevant
Exactly. We
cordons
can put
and whatnot.
exactly. We can control it if you want to say.
Yeah, I mean they don't say that. They say they look to protect the peace and stuff, innit?
Of course.
What the second one is you being able to view what's going on around the world.
Yeah, does that make revolution and stuff more likely or less likely? Because what I'm basically trying to say is, if I'm seeing all of these things, right, and there's voting in place, there's police there, there's all this sort of stuff, right, I may say to myself, cool, there isn't much more for me to do. Like, I could try and start an uprising, but who's really going to be on my side because of all these systems that's in place? Because somebody can come around and film this, because it can go on social media, because there's voting as well, because there's so many different channels that somebody will tell me is available for me to enact change. Don't do this, guys. It's not worth it, right? So, for example, let's just say 200 years ago, maybe somebody, if George Floyd was around and was killed in the way he was killed 200 years ago, 100 years ago, or in the 60s even, you might get people responding with violence. But today it's like, no, we don't need to go that channel, because you know what? We could actually start BLM. We could get white people guilty. We could stop things economically. We could do X, Y, and Z through legitimate channels. Has the world made it harder for violent revolution to have a place? Or has the world still made that still a viable solution for change? That's basically what I'm getting at.
I'm not sure if the world, the ruling government, would look to line up avenues for where that particular response born out of frustration is the only way. I don't know why they would encourage people to go down that path, because it only leads to a damage to the economy. So, to answer your question, they wouldn't choose for that. The powers that be wouldn't choose for that.
Yeah.
They would rather them not protest. They would rather them be comfortable with their lot.
Okay. But you're still affecting me. You're still making me feel like I'm down in the dumps. You're subjugating me. I feel like I have no voice. So I'm going to respond. So what would you do now? You're the powers that be. You're saying to me, you wouldn't want this to be X, Y, Z, right? To occur in a particular way.
As in, what do I need to do to placate them? What do I need to do to keep them docile?
Yeah.
I remind them that they have children to feed.
Okay.
So if a protest happens and I lock up a whole set of them, that gives them a little wink. Hey,
behave.
This could happen.
Yeah.
Just off the back of this particular thing, this little thing, I could remove all of your access to well-being, livelihood, and I think just that image alone, it pacifies people.
Did that occur during BLM? Because what made people...
No, BLM was a worldwide movement.
Yeah, but it started in...
It started
first.
in America.
Yeah, then it became that. So what prevented it? Sorry. What was lacking that made it become a
Because
worldwide
everybody
event?
saw what happened.
That's what I'm trying to say to you. So that's basically my question. Because we've got these global communications and we've got police and democratic processes that pretty much every nation adheres to, does that make it easier for us or does it make it harder for us? Because if there was no global communications, would BLM have become a worldwide thing with a movement that actually, some would say, changed things?
I believe they tried to stifle the spread of media
Yeah.
attached to that movement. I think they actively looked to do that. I think Twitter and Facebook at the time, 100%, they were trying to lock that stuff down. And each time a video would come up, pew, it would disappear.
Get rid of it.
But people were already in lockdown. They were already vexed with the government. Once I'm on the street, I'm on the street. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Once you make those placards, I can't breathe. It's finished. Once you get the T-shirts printed, it's over.
Yeah. Because in my head, I'm just thinking, like, we know these sort of things are going to continue to exist. Unfortunately, let's just say, like in Gaza, right? What can the people do to change it, though? You know what I'm saying? Like, what can people really do? If people are going to because every now and again we talk about how protest is not that effective. Well, at least I do sometimes, right? And how really you just go in there, you just, doing a walking exercise. But how can we bring about change if people ain't really looking to kill people and bring about and really violent resistance? What is the next best thing? Is the next best thing the non-violent protest, which is controlled by them?
You just said that you think protest isn't effective.
It isn't as effective, I think, as people believe it to be. And I think it goes in two ways. I think
You mean for black people?
Yeah.
Because I believe that the protest that was headed up by Tommy Robertson and them man there got reformed so many votes. Okay, so it depends on your agenda. It depends on why you're protesting. I just give that example. I don't know, because I asked you, are you talking about for black people?
Yeah.
Because I can see how Nigel Farage got in the position that he got.
Yeah.
And I do believe it is because of the protest, whether it was online or whether it was that particular skirmish that turned out to be nothing in the end. I do believe that paved the way for him to get so many votes.
Was that him just taking advantage of the opportunity?
To be honest, that was after you got after the election, isn't it?
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. I think before then, the protest that happened. No, Tommy did have a
Yeah, he's done a few ones.
Yeah, he did. He did a few. Yeah. But anyway, I think it depends on the people and, as you said, the reason behind the protest.
Yeah, because the way I'm seeing it is, obviously, we know that things happen to us. Just the other day, we were talking about Chris Cabba. Look at that. As a case in point, I know a lot of us in the black community say, you know what, not that it was justified, but he lived a particular life. You know what I mean? Live by the gun, you die by the gun. This is what some people were saying in our own communities. Obviously, a lot of us were also saying, wait a minute, he deserves the right to a trial, like every other person. He's a human being, you know what I'm saying? And he didn't need to die. So there's still reason to basically go out there and protest. How do I know? Because protests occurred, right? People actually went out afterwards, after he was killed and even after the verdict. But my question, I guess, is, are these protests effective if we're kind of doing things in accordance with what the powers that be allow? Do we have to change the strategy within those parameters that the powers that be have allowed? Change the strategy.
So how does one crank it up to 100 to be more effective, given, as you said, the parameters that they've given us? Give me an example of how you crank up the heat with the Chris Kaba protests.
I personally think, I think I've said this before. I think the main ways you bring about change is violence or a change to the economy. Violence, take it off the table. That's just not what doesn't really have a place today, right? Especially because you need to be on the same sort of vibe in it, and that's just not the case. The economy, that's also sadly something that you may need to take off the table too, because it doesn't seem like a lot of people are on that same sort of vibe as well. But it's the most likely thing. If people made a concerted effort to say, I'm not going to buy X, Y, and Z from these places, I think you'll bring about change.
I hear what you're saying, but give me a direct example with the Chris Kaba stuff. How can we mobilize and keep our monies, our pounds in our pockets to bring about change in this particular scenario?
I think we'll need to start organizations and have chapters or factions of those organizations dotted about in where we're the most populated in London, for example, and even some of the major cities. I think the presence of people in a particular uniform or whatever, or just gathered together in numbers, reminds people, wait a minute, these people mean business. And what is this about? People don't like when they see, what happened?
You say in uniform?
Yeah, like say you was in uniform, or we just came together wearing the same color, or even if forget all of that stuff, even if it was just a bunch of us doing the same sort of thing in a coordinated effort. So let's just say, I don't know, from 12 to 4 p.m., there's 50 of us outside of this particular place in Birmingham. Same 50, not the same 50, but another set of another group in London, Manchester, whatever it may be, in different places in these major cities where we there's a lot of us. Then, in addition to that, we're saying we're not going to buy from these particular places. In fact, what we're going to do is we're going to put our money into X, Y, and Z. I think personally, with time, two things will occur. People will be intimidated by the presence of these numbers. And number two, there will be a shift in how much money is being earned by these businesses. And that always brings about change.
Sorry, I think I understand what you're saying just in general. I asked about Chris Kaba.
Yeah,
and
same
the
thing.
Police.
Same thing.
So how was doing what you just said, dressing up in uniform,
You don't have to
not
dress up in uniform.
patronizing certain white shops,
Yeah.
right? How is that going to affect the police killing black people?
Because now police have to spend a certain amount of time behaving themselves because we're watching. And number two, policing us in a group.
Oh, so you're saying that the time that the armed
resources.
police would be taking to chase after criminals, they would now come and with their guns police the uniform.
They don't have
50.
to have their guns. There's only like 2,000 people, police officers with guns in the country. Forget the guns thing. It's just more so a diversion of police resources to something that we care about. It's a constant reminder that we mean business. We're not starting trouble, but it's just more so these people are here for a reason. What is that reason? The conversation starts. Do you know what I'm saying?
I think I may now see a connection. I've created this thread. Let me see if this is what you're saying. So if they're now taking us and our 50 uniformed more seriously, they're going to respect Black lives a bit more.
If they take what more seriously? You see us
when
together.
we congregate, when we coordinate, and decorate.
Yeah, you don't
ourselves.
have to. Yeah, you don't have to do that. Yeah,
NOI business, right? And then we turn up to these particular white establishments and we don't spend our monies in there. In fact, we even scare people away from coming into the shops and patronizing them because there are 50 black people uniformed outside of this shop chanting.
Forget the uniform, forget the chanting. It's just a more so, in the same way a protest disrupts things in society.
Let me finish. Because I think I caught the thread. I want to know if this is what you were on, because I'm still a bit confused. So the police officers will eventually look to respect Black lives because they feel that we mean business. So when they see a criminal in a car, something that they've seen as criminal, and they've seen the black skin, they would pause before shooting because they fear that the 50 uniforms from the different chapters
Yeah.
would come together and become 5,000. Is that what you're saying?
It's not
That's
necessarily.
how the Chris Cabba thing is linked to what you're saying?
It's not necessarily that. It's more so, I guess. It's not about respecting black lives. It's respecting black people's capacity to do something. You don't have to respect my life. Just respect the fact that I could end yours. I could do something very, very life-changing to yours. You know what I'm saying?
I think I understand now. You're saying that there is a